I am a man of honor, integrity, and promise. I pursue all righteousness. I love my family. I will not put my family in harm's way. There is nothing that will keep me from doing the right thing. I am an ambassador of hope and a man of discipline. I am a man worth following. I am a TYRO.
Hello everyone, welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO. And for those of you that don't know who we are, Ron and I did 15 years in the prison system. Ron doing time on the inside, while the kids and I did time on the outside.
And we lived to tell about it. And out of our experience, you know, all the pitfalls, all the hurts and the pains and really growing up, right? We were able to develop a curriculum called TYRO. And TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior.
And in the TYRO program, we actually teach you not just what a warrior is, but what does a warrior do? What are the things a warrior really fights for? And so as part of that, we developed this TV program called TYRO TV. And today, we're going to be talking to you about setting family rules.
You know, it's one thing to set up family rules, but another part that we're going to be talking about is maintaining these family rules. Because we're going to talk about really how do you set it up, how do you come into become a collaboration between you and your family and really coming to a place where it's not a dictatorship. These are my rules, this is my house, and this is how it's going to go.
Because that's not going to work, especially when you are in the gates and your family's outside the gates.
And we're going to talk about one of the hardest things a man or the husband or the father of the house when you're incarcerated, the hard thing is to let go. You know, because I want to still maintain control, even if it's on a phone.
Or in a letter, or in a
letter.
Right. And so there's a right way to maintain some control, because it's important that you do have a place in your family's life and that you do maintain some authority in your children's life, but a positive, healthy authority. And so today we're going to talk about that. We're going to really help you understand, you know, what do we mean when we talk about family rules? What do we mean about setting those? And why is it important?
You know, when we talk about maintaining these family rules, once we establish, and we're going to talk about this new culture that we're talking about, but maintaining them. It's like, fellas, when you're working out, right? And you begin to change, see your physique change, and you want to maintain what you're building, because you know if you slack off and you begin to really eat a lot again and not work out, you turn back into what it was. You know, before you got locked up, for those of us who became bodybuilders in the penitentiary, we were always thinking McDonald's. We were thinking fast food. We're just eating to be eating, right? We weren't living to eat. We weren't eating to live. We were living to eat. Right?
Right. So as we talk about what it is, we talk about why it's important, we're also going to share with you how you do it. Exactly how to do it. Now, is there any perfect recipe? No, there isn't. But there's a general direction. There's general things that are going to work for everybody. And so we want to help you formulate your plan and put your plan in action. So you are not going to want to miss today's show as we really help you build that foundation for your family.
So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine TYRO's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO. And today we're talking about family rules, why they're important, and how to establish them even while you're still inside the gates.
So the most important thing before we even get deep into the weeds of this subject is, what is family rules? What is it? And
what are we talking about?
Yeah, what are we talking about? So let's see if we can create a definition around what is family rules.
Well, the first thing, I guess, maybe is what family rules aren't. So family rules are not a dictatorship. They're not meant to stifle people. They're not meant to control people. And so if that's what you've been thinking family rules are all of the things don't, and all negative things, then you've got to change the way you're thinking about it. because family rules are really supposed to help define a culture within your family. That's what it is.
So prior for me coming to prison, what I valued or what I thought family rules were was my way or the highway. And those are the family rules, period. Right?
And that wasn't working so great.
It didn't work at all because my thinking was really warped. It was, you know, for lack of a better word, perverted because it was all about me.
Right.
And I was calling the shots. I expected you to live the way I visioned you to live, and
so then
and everything else.
when I thought I was calling all the shots and we were supposed to live the way that I expected to live, then it was constant friction because Ron and I were constantly at odds.
Because our rules did not jive, they did not dance together, we were not singing the same song.
We didn't even understand what family rules were. We didn't even understand why they were important or how to implement them. So when we think about what, it's really setting expectations. It's setting a definition
Setting a tone
for your family. Like, okay, so a family rule, so let's give an example of what a family rule isn't. A family rule is not, okay, everybody, you're gonna do whatever I say, whenever I say it, however I say it, period. That's not a family rule. That becomes a dictatorship.
And that's how we lived in the past. You know, that was me. I literally told Cathy that, now that you're married to me, this is how your life is going to be.
And I said, that's so funny. But he was serious, right? And so as I realized that he was serious, I mean, it created so much conflict because I would do deliberately, even if it was something I wanted to do. When he commanded and demanded that I do something, like, okay, you will have dinner ready at 5 o'clock.
And you will fold my clothes.
And so what did I decide? Well, even if I wanted to eat at 5 o'clock, we weren't eating at 5 o'clock now. And so it created this dissonance in our relationship instead of a resonance. Instead of resonating with me, instead of causing me to want to be part of a thriving family, it caused me to want to remove myself and do the opposite. And so when we think about what are family rules are a code by which your entire family lives by that actually helps build up each individual member. So write that down. Family rules are a code that actually helps you and your family contribute to each other and help each other become stronger and better.
And as you're writing this down and as you're thinking about it, now, and we're encouraging you to talk to your other family members. Ask them, you know what? We don't want to live the way we used to live before I went to prison. We want a new lifestyle. We want a new culture set up in our home where family rules govern the way we conduct ourselves. They govern the way I treat you and they govern the way you treat me to where we're all on the same page because we're all on the same team.
And it sets that belief, that core belief system. When we talk about setting a culture in your family, it sets a foundation upon which your beliefs are made plain to your children and to each other so that you all have this common operating system. So let me give you an example of something that you would want to be. Okay, a family rule is, you know, in this culture, we remember that even in the midst of conflict that we're loved. Like I'm going to remember that Ron loves me even if he disagrees with me. And Ron's going to remember that I love him even if I don't do exactly things the way that I don't cut the watermelon the way that he wants me to or whatever it is. Because it's those small things that begin to tear us down. So when we remember our family culture and we build it around family rules, it helps strengthen our family.
And so together we come to an agreement. We actually discussed it. We talk about it. Okay, so what is the family room that we're going to implement in our family this week or next week or really for the full year? Because our life shifts, our life will change. Your life is going to change. So from you being incarcerated and you talking to your lady and your kids and you're trying to maintain a balance, even while you're in prison, it is possible. But you got to communicate. You got to share your thoughts. You got to be able to change the way you think also because
and agree on a common set of behaviors that are acceptable for your family.
For example, what not to do, gentlemen. If your wife tells you, you know what, I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning for your visit, and your expectations are that's the rule of the house, right? I expect you here when you come to see me, you got to be here right at 9. Or a rule is that I had when I was first incarcerated, I'm going to call you every night at 9. I expect you there because that's the rule I'm building. I'm trying to create that atmosphere. But quickly I learned that is not going to work.
Right.
And you got to come to a place of what it's not also. And it's not a dictatorship, gentlemen. It is not a dictatorship. You can't, it's hard to run a house when you're not paying the bills.
Right.
You know?
So things that we think about setting common behaviors, a culture in your family would be like, hey, our family always says please and thank you. that's going to be something inside our family culture. That if we want something, I don't just say, give me that, give me that, give me that.
We say, please.
We say, would you please hand that to me? Or thank you for handing that to me. And so when we really think about what, that is so important to understand what are family rules.
So when we come back, we're going to talk about the why. Why is family rules and maintaining family rules important in your life? Why? Why is this so important that I need rules in my family?
So another way to say it, so we talked about the what, and so in the next segment we're going to say, okay, so what? Why is it important? So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about Mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tiarita.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina, and today we're talking about family rules. Why are they important? What are they and how to implement them and how to maintain them?
So we just got done talking about what? What is a family rule? And what is it? What does that mean to maintain a family rule? And it's important to set a culture. What is a family rule? It sets a culture. It sets expectations up so nobody's in the dark anymore.
Right, so that you have a common operating system. You're deciding what behaviors are appropriate for your family, what's acceptable and what isn't acceptable. That is so important. And now in this segment, we're going to talk about the so what.
So
now
what?
Yeah.
So what do I care about why? So what about family rules? You know what? I live my own life. I'm my own man. You know what, woman? You just do what I tell you to do.
Oh my goodness.
So what?
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
So what?
And so that's how when we say so what, we're saying, okay, why is it important? So we know what, but
why is it important?
If we don't understand the so what or the why part, we'll never implement it. And so we're going to talk a little bit about why is it important.
And you know what? I like saying that. So what? So anyways, the point of this segment of the why factor is to really come to a place of understanding why is it important in a relationship with your spouse, with your significant other, with your children to create family values and how to maintain those.
Especially during periods of physical separation. So you're separated right now. So you're in these walls, you're in these gates. So that makes it even more important that you have a family culture that you're defending. And why? Because it creates safety and protection for your family unit.
So one of the first rules that we implemented, and I really appreciate Cathy for this, while I was incarcerated, Cathy made a rule within herself, and we talked about it. She said, you know what I'm going to do? Since you're going to be gone, I will not get into a vehicle with anybody other than, if it's just one man, I will not get in a car with him. Or if there's more than one person, then I will get in a car with him. But I will not travel, be alone
with another man.
Yeah.
And so what that did, so that was part of our family culture to say, you know what, we want to protect our family. So, what is it? It's setting that culture. Why is it important? Because it created trust and peace between Ron and I, and then also that created an atmosphere of trust and peace for our kids. It caused them to feel safe and secure because we all understood what the culture was. We all understood what it was that we were working towards and how it was we were going to get there.
So family rules, when we travel, if Cathy can't travel with me, I do not travel alone. I take a male companion with me to wherever I travel to. If she travels and I can't go with her, family rule is she takes a female companion with her, right? And that really set a tone in our relationship where we are holding each other accountable. And see, that's why is it important in family rules? Because it places a level of accountability in your family and in your relationships.
So it gives you the measuring stick by which to measure every decision you make. Oh, does this align with our family values? Is this going to get my family moving forward in a healthy way, or is this going to bring a detriment to my family? And so it helped me on the outside as we were navigating through those 15 years to think, okay, if I travel alone with this man, is that going to impact my family culture? Yeah, you know what it is. It's going to give my kids mind battles. It's going to give my husband mind battles. So you know what? I'm going to do something different. But without the why, it would have been very difficult for me to make decisions that were in the best interest of my family. So understanding why is it important? Because we're protecting our children, we're protecting our legacy, we're protecting our relationship.
Well, let's take it inside. Why is it important? The gentleman, the reason why it's important there, your family needs to know that they can trust you with what they give you. So if they send you money on your books and they're counting on you not to be frivolous with that money, not to go to a gambling table, they want to know that you have their best interest at heart, that you're going to be a man of honor and a man of good character, that you're not going to go in debt, that you're not going to be gambling, that you're not going to buy illegal drugs inside the penitentiary. You're not going to buy hooch. You're not going to do these things. Why is it important for family values? You have to begin practicing them there. And we're going to go into that in the next minute about how do you implement it? Because it is so crucial that your family knows that they can trust you. Why do you need family values? And why do you need to maintain them? Because trust is key. Security is powerful when your family knows.
Peace is so important, especially in the midst of this life circumstance, because there's so much chaos reigning around you. You guys are separated. Your kids are going through life on the outside every single day, having to hold their head up and face the public where you are locked away.
So if you're still trying to be a player while you're locked up and you got your lady out there with your kids and you're trying to play your lady by maybe writing one of those letters and knocking off a vet, right? Knocking off a vet, and then she comes to see you, man, you ain't a man of honor. That isn't what a man of honor does. That's, if you're still thinking you're a player, you got to understand what family values mean. If you want to continue to reap the same consequences that you reaped prior to coming to prison, then that's what you continue to do. You keep doing the same things you do because you haven't come to a place of understanding what it means to have true family values. Even if you're not committed in a committed relationship with the wife or the mother of your children
are looking to you and trying to figure out, okay, so you're saying that love is important, you're saying that trust is important, you're saying that these are the what of our family. Now, why is it important? And so when you help them understand why, that it creates safety and security by setting those boundaries,
setting the example,
then you're going to create that atmosphere because practice makes permanent. And when you set your family rules and you understand why they're important and you can communicate that in a clear way to your children, you are decreasing the stress in their life. You're giving them a place of safety and wholeness even in the midst of this chaos.
So stay tuned. We're going to be right back to talk about the how. How do you implement family values and how do you maintain them?
So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through family days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation. and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO. And on today's show, we're talking about family values, why they're important, what they are, and how to implement them.
It's so important to have family values. You know, and so in this segment, we're going to talk about how. How do you make it happen? How do you come to a place of agreement
on the rules that govern your family?
Woo, I'm telling you, and you can have a big, long list of rules in your home, and they could be so beautiful, but if you don't implement them, then what are they? They just wasted space.
That's right, because you don't understand why they're important, and you don't understand how to implement them. So we all have ideas of things that we think are important, things that we'd like to see in our family, but we have to understand why they're important, and then we have to put action behind them. So in this segment, we're going to walk you through how to put action behind them.
So the first thing we want you to do is to really get a sheet of paper out and write down rules that you think that should be implemented in your own personal life, right? This is really going to be about self-examination.
Right.
You know, what type of rules you want to put on yourself as a man of honor, as a man of good character, a husband and a father. Because remember, all eyes are on you, Dad. All eyes are on you, young man. All eyes are on you, OG, whatever you want to label yourself. All eyes are on you. So if you don't have the family rules or that moral character,
well, I really
right?
think it's really defining your family mission. So that's the first step, because if you don't have a definition of what it is you're striving for, you can't implement it. So the first step, when you think, list all the things that you want to see your family stand for, and then actually develop a family mission. And if you're part of the TYRO program, you've already developed a family mission, right? So you've already gone through that process. If you're not part of the TYRO program, we super encourage you. Yes, I use that word. Sign up. And we'll walk you through the process of how to develop a family mission.
So as you develop this and you start thinking about these strong words in your life, like, okay, how do I activate honor in my life? One of the things that you can do is in how to activate your family values and make them applicable is do a litmus test. Okay, so if your rules in your home are that I'm going to be home at midnight, or I'm going to be home at a decent time, right? I'm going to be home in time for dinner to have with my family every night. One of the family rules is, you know what? Family rule is all hands on deck. Many hands make light work.
Right.
A family rule is after dinner, everybody contributes to cleaning the kitchen.
Right.
Another family rule is after family rules, we don't grab our cell phones.
After family dinner.
Or after family dinner. Maybe a family rule is, you know what? We're going to sit and we're going to talk about how our day went. And maybe you did that over dinner. But I'm just coming up with examples here. But these are rules that you can start to practice. Practice does not make perfect. It makes permanent.
Right.
Now, also, I want to give this in there. Now, let's say you're doing this for a little period of time, and the schedules are shifting, and everybody, you know what, you can't get everybody together all the time. It's okay to re-examine the rules you have.
Right.
And say, well, you know what?
If we say our family always eats dinner at home every night together, and then we find that, oh my goodness, between my daughter's practices and between, meetings or whatever, that we're finding that becomes a glitch. It can't be a stumbling block that says, okay, throw it all out, forget it. We can't really establish that culture in our house. What we can do is find other ways to do it. Is like, okay, we're going to pack food and have food in the car and have a snack and still eat later. Or, you know what? On these days of the week when we don't have practices, these are the days we're going to eat together. And on the other days, we're going to find another time to really connect. So it's a living, breathing thing. Family values and family rules have to be in a constant improvement cycle.
That's right. So let me give you an example of what that looks like inside. So when I was incarcerated and we had a routine that every night at 9 o'clock I would call Cathy. But what I didn't realize was I didn't let that breathe. Right. It was so stagnant that it was so.
On his end,
on my end.
On my end, it was breathing.
Locked in. It was. You know what? At 9 o'clock for the next however long I'm here, you will be there to answer my phone. And
see, on my end, it was like, okay, let's try to make 9 o'clock the time we're going to talk. I understand that life happens, but it's a great time at the end of the day to connect. And so I didn't see it as we're locked into 9 o'clock.
That she had to be by the phone. And so what happened was when time went on and she wasn't there by the phone at 9 o'clock when I called, I began to take it what? Personal. Because I didn't allow change to happen. I didn't allow her life to, that this did not revolve around her life this time, right? The time has to revolve around her life, not the other way around. So while allowing it to happen and really coming to understanding was, okay, you know what? When is it convenient for you this week? What's your schedule look like? So 9 o'clock might not be the set in stone rule, right? The same thing with as we begin to really implement rules in our family, we have to understand that you're maintaining, because you're not at home dads, you're not at home husbands, you're not at home fathers, But
So the behaviors have to support the values. So
Yes.
the values don't change, but sometimes the behaviors related to those values change. Does that make sense? So we've got our values and those are set. So we walk through and we set those and there's our family mission. Now how we uphold that and actually the behaviors might change. When we talked about dinner, we might not have dinner together every single night, but we're still making it a priority for when we can. So the value doesn't change, but the behavior might change. So we sit down and we say, okay, what are the behaviors that exemplify these values? And so some of those behaviors will never change, like always telling the truth. Well, that's not going to change. Except then, my daughter, I remember when she was 4, and Ron had said, well, what did you get me for my birthday? And she told him. And it was like, well, you said always tell the truth. And he was like, okay, this is an okay secret.
I want to give one more example before we sign off. And I think it's really important to really bring it home with the guys in there. When you're trying to set the rules up, when you're trying to negotiate, is what this is all about. It's negotiating a family structure. It's not a dictatorship. It's about negotiating, communicating effectively to lift each other up. Because if your rules are tearing down people, and they're not lifting them up and there's not harmony, then guess what? They're not family rules.
And the other important part of setting rules is that together as a family, you have to choose consequences. So if you don't tell the truth, what happens? If you don't come in on time, what happens? If we fail to live up to that, how do we manage that? And the second part of that probably even more important is choosing rewards
Choosing
together.
a reward.
That when we are exemplifying those things, what are the rewards? Maybe the rewards are, going out for ice cream together or watching a movie. Whatever those are really important parts of actually implementing those family values and rules, is putting them on paper, choosing consequences, and choosing rewards.
What, why, and how? That's really important about family rules and maintaining them. So when we come back, we're going to conclude this episode with
kind of a wrap up of what is it we just talked about and how can you apply it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tiarina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina. And today we've been talking about family values and family rules, what they are, why they're important, and how to implement them.
And so right now we want to end this segment with really a couple tidbits to help you on that road to success, to really help and maintain a healthy family relationship. That's what it's all about.
Because we know
Yeah.
that in the midst of this situation, this is not easy. This is a huge mountainous task before you. But we also know it's completely achievable.
It's possible to really have a healthy relationship even though you're not home, even though you're not there for the children, but you can have a great, great relationship. It's going to take a lot of work, gentlemen. It's going to take a lot of work, but it's worth it. So the first thing I want to suggest is be happy. We sing that song. It sounds, but that's true. Choose to be happy despite where you're at.
That's huge.
If you would change your attitude and don't wake up with the grumpy attitude, don't grave, they're waking me up. Embrace this experience by choosing to be happy despite where you're at. I guarantee you.
Right. When you set that course for your family, then you're giving your children permission to be happy. And the impact of incarceration on your children is tremendous. And when you choose to be happy and you give them permission to choose to be happy, then building your legacy and setting out your family values and living up to them becomes easier to do because you're all in this together and it brings you happiness and joy.
And the next thing we want to challenge you is to choose to be grateful. Man, I know sometimes it's tough because we're stripped naked of everything that we loved and everything that we thought we had and all that. But the truth is, man, you have a chance to reinvent yourself. You have a chance to redefine who you are as a man. You have a chance to reinvent the father in you. Dad, you have a chance to really be that man of honor. So you get to change everything about you and come out stronger, come out better, not come out bitter. So choose to be grateful for not only where you're at, but what you have.
And you know, the same is true for your family, helping them choose to be grateful, because there's not a lot of things, well, I should say there are a lot of things you have no choice in right now. You don't get to choose where you're living, you don't get to choose the circumstance or how often you spend time with your family or all of those, or what you eat, all of those things. A lot of choices were taken from you. But this is a choice you have total control over.
Right.
Choosing to be grateful for your family, choosing to be grateful for the circumstances that allow you to change your legacy and change your foundation.
You know, I remember being so grateful that I was able to call you. You know, so grateful that I had access to a phone. And then I was so grateful when I didn't help contribute. Now I did not help contribute to the phone bill, okay? At $18 a month, I did not help contribute to the phone bill. But guess what I did? I called every night. I was so grateful to Cathy that she was able to maintain the phone bill. And I think if you haven't thanked your family for that, thank them for that.
Right.
You know?
And so today's episode, we really hope that this helped you really look at the importance of family values in a different way, to really understand what they are, why they're important, and how to implement them.
So thank you for letting us be part of your journey. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And always remember that we are rooting for you.
I am a man of honor.
I am a man of integrity.
I am a man of faith. I am the antidote.
I am a man of discipline. I am a leader.
I am strong.
I am a man worth following.
I am a TYRO.